Again, it's related with your question. I don't think it's hard to work with youth as well. And I think you're giving a very good example. I think sometimes what is hard is like they come up with so many ideas and projects that if you're working on a volunteer basis, then it's almost impossible to fulfill their expectations and dreams. But I do believe that it's very easy to work with them. I do believe that it's sometimes, I mean, we have a perspective like that. Peace is something very complicated, so let's keep it. In CISV, we've been working a lot like, let's give them the tools, let's give them skills, or let's give us skills and attitudes in order to work with the concept, to develop the concept, to discuss about these issues, and to come up with the kind of things that we need in order to use it. So, to bring up these topics again and say like, yes, we are an organization that works to the development of a culture of peace, for example, worldwide. So it's like, as you said, I think it was a very good example, like which are these values that are behind the concept of peace that we can put together as global citizens, by example. So in that sense, I do not believe that in terms of youth and children or in general, that there are no complicated concepts. It's just like the arena that you develop in order to discuss and develop these kind of ideas. In terms of the policy making, I do believe that it's in terms of the language that we use as well. In my organization, we are very clear that even though we are a non-political organization, non-religious organization, everyone is very clear that we do political actions in society. Every single project we do, every single idea, it has an impact in society. It's coming from the necessities and the dreams of citizens in each of the countries. So that means that what we do is a political impact. And if we talk in that sense, politicians and the people that are on top of what is happening in the country start paying attention to you and start thinking like, that's an interesting project, that's something that we can use, that's something that can change for the better will of all the citizens. So in that way, I'm thinking always like in the kind of language that we use so everyone has the same understanding independently of the age or...
Let me do a quick audience poll. How many of you think it's easier to work with kids or young people on a concept like peace and the subject we're discussing? And how many of you think it is difficult? Okay. Rest of you who have not either voted for yes or no, what's your view? Still developing your thoughts. Okay, I want to ask the gentleman a question who's sitting right next to Dr. Khan. Why do you think it's difficult to deal with young people?
It's both easy and difficult.
Okay, you're saying it's easy and difficult. Okay. Okay. Any question on this? Yeah, Peter. Can we have the mic, please? There.
One of the things that struck me is that, generally speaking, if you're talking about peace, if you want to achieve peace, there's no point talking to people who already agree with you. Now, I think everyone here, no one here is going to dispute anything that's been said today. One of the lessons, particularly in South Africa, is that if you want to achieve a resolution, you have to talk to the extremists. Talking to your friends doesn't get you anywhere. It just reinforces those beliefs. One of the things we see on the internet is a compartmentalization of ideas. The kinds of things we're talking about, we tend to communicate with like-minded people. What I want to know, and I want to ask particularly people like Jasmine, people who are, is how we get these ideas to the people who don't agree with us, to the extremists. Jasmine, you were talking about virginity. You're talking about your piece on virginity. How do you talk to the people? It's no good sticking it on a blog because the only people who read the blog are people who tend to agree with the kinds of things you're saying. How do you get those ideas into those corners of the internet, into the corners of society, using ICTs, using these tools that are opposed to the kinds of things we're trying to achieve here? That, to me, is really the crux of the question. And I think if there's anyone else who's got any ideas on this, I'd be grateful to hear them. But I think it's about reaching those people that just don't understand.
So I think you have taken me to my next question, which is the same. How do you integrate these young people into these organizations, NGOs, people in organizations that are working for social cause. How do you integrate the young people so that they become part of it, they become more active, and they start contributing? Any ideas? Any positive ideas that both on the other side as well as I.
Greetings everyone. My name is Moderator. I'm the Director for Education Programs from the Art of Living. We have positively impacted about 300 million people in 150 countries now, and we've been working with youth for a long time. We recently did a program called Yes We Can for about 120 youth from 30 countries in Europe. What we found is that they are a bundle of energy. And if you learn how to positively direct that energy, we can make a difference. Okay? Because they have seen what is not working in the present generation, and they need some tools, some techniques where they can sort of, get their energy to a positive front. So what we did in Europe was that these 120 people from 30 countries, they went around to every country trying to, like you said, there's a lot of energy in the room. So trying to increase the energy of the whole population. Because like His Holiness Sri Ravi Shankar was telling yesterday, nearly 30%, every third person is now going to is getting depressed, and it's going to be much worse in the years to come. So just to bring up that energy, and that's been our experience, that you have the challenge, they want to do something, but if you learn how to orient that information, you can really get them to contribute to the world. So our experience has been that when you find that it starts with them being peaceful, and Peter is talking about how do you engage with people who don't agree with you, right? So we challenge these youngsters, just like he said just now, and it's okay, it's no fun being with people who agree with you. Can you really get out of your so-called circle of belongingness or trust and go out and meet people who don't agree with you? And we start that process. And we've done that successfully with a lot of youth in different communities. Like one of the things that we did was the youth in Bihar. Right? Now, there are two groups. They just can't stand each other. They've been killing each other for generations. Youth, really young people who have been, So what we did was we took one separately and then we worked with them. We took the other separately, worked with them, and we brought them together for an advanced program. And we could see the difference when we brought them together, that they started to realize and identify themselves first as human beings. When the priority gets mixed, that's where the problem starts. If you identify yourself first as human beings, next as a gender, next as maybe a religion, and then the nationality, things are going to be different. And it's been our experience because we've been successfully working now in nearly 150 countries. Thank you.
Good news and interesting that you bring in people together, you train them, you give them the right education, and the energy is there. They will start contributing. Any more thoughts? Yeah.
Thank you very much. My name is Kalikesh from Tunisia, president of the Rapporteur International Institute. I would like to share with you 3 experiences on how about to integrate youth people in the social work and civil society. I have been involved in those 3 experiences. The first one is called the Youth for Change program. It's a program led by Taking IT Global organization, which is a worldwide organization using ICT to get youth people involved in the civil society. It has been really a success, and we realized several forums around the Arab world and each country to help youth people involved in the civil society.